Ever since a young boy, I've been getting buckets. Ever since a young boy, I've been getting buckets. Pull it back, Kobe, 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 Kobe. Pull it back, Kobe. Switch. I don't even gotta look. I take the shot and get a switch. I don't even touch the way when I pull up, it's just switch. Back for a play. Only thing I know is switch. Pull it back, Kobe. Rest in peace to the Mamba and baby Gigi. Still remember where I was standing next to the tree. I was lined up, yelling Kobe, but playing Pee-wee. You know that's who the freaky man after they took G-Leagues. Number 8 was crazy, but 24 was scary. Respect his name, Healthy Mike, so with the Bloody Mary. Don't forget the things he mentioned, how to get a Larry. Whatever necessary, he tried to help repair me. They tell us never look in the eyes of a killer. I did it out respect for the greatest at Staples Center. The closest thing to MJ, you know I ain't talking Thriller. It ain't an iron team, but a me in it. Please remember me. Ever since a young boy,
y'all know I had to do it.
Ever since a young boy, I've been getting
Had to rep my man Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Pull it back, Kobe. Switch.
Y'all know I had to do it, man. Y'all know I had to represent for my man Kobe, man. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Gigi. Rest in peace, other lives lost in that plane crash, man. It's crazy. It's been a year already, man. It's crazy that it's been a year already, man. So I came out today to represent my guy Kobe, man. My favorite basketball player of all time, right there. But welcome, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for coming and watching another episode of the My Brother show, where we aim to encourage and uplift one another, one brother to one brother. I am your host with the most, as one of my guests has described me in his promo. I'm the host with the most, Maurice Fresh. I'll be facilitating this discussion. And this discussion is it's a good one this week. I got some suggestions at the beginning of last season about things I could talk about, and one thing that came up was Mancode and this idea of Mancode, right? So if you don't know what Mancode is, it's these unwritten laws that we as men live by, right? And they're really outdated, right? And they lead to a lot of the emotional and mental toxicity, because I still can't say that word, but toxicity. If y'all was watching a couple of episodes ago, I struggled with that too. It leads to a lot of the toxicity that we have as men. So we came to revise, revamp, and just talk about this man code and how we can make it better so that we can be better as a gender. So I have some amazing guests with me who will be helping with that. But right before I do that, I do have two other things to business before I go there. First and foremost, this episode is sponsored by Lonnie's Auto Repair. Lonnie's Auto Repair is up on Ogon St. Andrews. If you're in the Philadelphia area, any car needs you need, reach out to Lonnie's Auto Repair. He'll be able to help you. Also, shout out to Pastor John C. Bryce for at the St. James United Methodist Church. Just thank you for giving him the opportunity to use his space. Shout out to him. The Black Church is still doing great things in the community, and I just am thankful for the opportunity to work with that brother. And last but not least, guys, I've been meaning to honestly do this for a long time. If you would like to support this show, if you would like to support anything, again, I will never charge you guys. If you want to support, if you want to give a gift, you can reach me right here on Cash App, $ my brother. Probably one of the simplest Cash App things that you've ever seen. But just simple $ my brother. Any gifts, any donations will be greatly appreciated. They go to better equipment. They go to higher profile guests. They go to more fancy things. You see, I got a little cup here. They got my brother, and I can get some more fancy things like that. Sponsorships, a better outreach, things like that. So any donations that you guys have can be sent to my brother. I will never charge, but if you feel led to give anything, by all means, that's the way that you can reach me. And also follow me on Instagram at the My Brother Show. Follow me. So yeah, shoot me a follow. All right. With that being said, I got a few comments coming in. Welcome to my mom. I always got to say that. She'll be mad at me if I don't say hey to my mom. She texted me because I didn't get on until 7:02 today. She sent me a text and said, hey, where you at? And I love her for holding me that accountable. So hey, mom, I love you. Tay, what's good, bro? Fobs, you my guy, man. Thanks. Fobs was on one of my episodes last week. He's been another great supporter of me and just a great brother to have in my corner. So thank you guys. All right, so without further ado, I'm gonna introduce my two guests, man. These two guys, man. I don't even know which one to start with. Usually I got an idea, But these two brothers are both dope, man. So I guess first I do. I've known him probably since 2011, 2012. I met this brother. We used to work together in retail, man. He's taught me many things, and he's younger than me, man. But he's taught me a lot about life. He's taught me the ability to separate work and personal. So although your working relationship may not be the best with someone, that doesn't mean your personal relationship has to suffer. He taught me how to just have fun. He taught me to be comfortable with being myself and to not feel like I had to hide who I was to the world. And he just like, man, it's, like I said in my bio, in my Meet the Panelists post, he's just a guy that knows many things about many things, man. You can kick with him about sports, video games, anything, man, political stuff, popular culture, man. That brother just knows about anything. Also, before I bring him on screen, I just want to let y'all know we got the first. All three of my guests are bald, so all three of us going to be bald on the show. So I'm super hype about that. That's the very first. You know, like you ain't too often you get three bald brothers together. So I'm hyped to have three bald brothers on camera. But without further ado, man, I'm gonna bring on my good friend Tim Brooks. He's the host of the I'll Talk If You Listen podcast, and he's a dope dude. Tim, what's good, bro?
Ball, Alliance Unite, sir. Ball gang. I'm new to the game, but it's so easy to be comfortable and joke with you. I'm so humbled more than anything to be on.
No, it's an honor, man. Like I said, man, when I thought of this topic, it's funny because like I have like this short list of people who I could bring on for certain topics. Then I have people who feel like they fit every bill, and you're one of them guys. I'm like,
I appreciate you, sir.
Anything that I'm talking about, I can be like, I could bring Tim on if you're available. Tim could come on for that, but you know.
I'm all for it.
Look, somebody talking about it. They said y'all look like the laughter emoji.
Well, they ain't got them in brown yet. You know, they ain't got them in brown yet. You know, it's right. Just the yellow ones. Maybe after this episode, we'll get some brown default emojis.
I'm glad you could join me, Tim. My next guest, man, he's no stranger to the show. He was actually on the very first episode. Low key behind the scenes, he's been huge on pushing me to do this. I actually pulled a lot of my ideas from him. He had a show going on with a good friend of his, and I pulled some ideas from him. He's another guy that just knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. And whenever I come up with a topic, it's like I could hit up this guy for this. I could hit up him for this. He's a coach. He's a mentor. He's a father. He's an awesome hustler, man. He's been a great friend over the years. And his wife also makes masks and all of that fun, cool things like the fancy customized masks his wife makes them. Without further ado, man, I'm going to bring on my good friend Nirie Charles. Nah. Oh, I don't know, but nah.
Hey, bang, ball gang. Y'all know what it is. Ball bros. You know what I'm saying?
We got our own triple B, the black
triple B's,
the black ball bros.
Black ball bros. Yeah, let's get into that.
That's the thing, man. We ain't got to talk about nothing else but that, man.
Hey, LeVar Ball better watch out. We taking those.
Better watch out. No, I just came on with a mask to Nirie because he wouldn't let me take none of my pictures in the mask. So this is the mask that he was just talking about that my wife makes. So get this quick promo out the way. You feel me? Y'all need one of these. Holla at Knick-Knack Necessities.
I respect the hustle.
My boy Jimmy's son comments, I need a Raider mask. So you already done got a customer right there.
There we go.
He a Cowboys fan though, Bob. So
oh man.
But at least I'm from Texas, you know what I mean? So
okay. Much respect.
Right, no, man. But I'm really glad you guys could join us, man. And
thanks for having me, bro.
I sent you guys that article. And I honestly think that article, those screenshots I sent y'all were done like in jest. But you can tell that, like, you know what? Sometimes it's like, you remember
somebody's living by some of those.
Whatever. I'm just kidding, like Jason. Unless you go and do it, you can tell that.
Do it.
Just like that. I'm just joking. But for real, I'm serious. So, like I said in the intro, like man code is the reason that we messed up a lot of the times, right? So like it's the reason that we walk around here carrying stuff that we don't got to. It's the reason that we don't talk about our emotions in a sense. It's the reason that we don't check on our brothers like we should. So I wanted to. It's time to revise it. It's 2021, man. Like let's revise and revamp this, man. So hold on. Got another comment from Files. He said, "I respect you from Texas." I was about to say, never mind.
Come on, man. H-Town to be specific, you feel me?
Hey, Jimmy said, "Hey, look, you gotta put those details out there up front, you know."
I gotta lead with that, huh?
Right.
Jerry wouldn't have the black bald brothers on. He might have bald brothers, but they wouldn't be black.
Ooh, that's a different discussion, brother.
Right.
That's a different discussion.
Let's jump into the discussion, guys. So like I kind of gave my definition of man code at the beginning. I kind of want to get your ideas. Like, so when I say man code, what comes to mind to you guys? One of y'all want to take that first?
Tell me, it's on you.
Thank you, sir. Almost exactly what you said. Just kind of echo the same thought process there. Man code is this unwritten or unspoken code or understanding, so to speak. And you even get ridiculed for not understanding it. So you got to pretend you do. Of this idea, the best way to, I think, explain it to someone is it's an idea or philosophy that's not written down anywhere that every man holds you accountable to, even if they themselves don't understand what it is.
That was big that you just said every man holds you accountable to. Because I didn't even think about that when I was thinking about it, because we do hold people accountable to man code. And when they fell, this code, mine was not written down.
Not written down.
Dudes done grow up without no dad in their life, no male figures in their life, yet somehow
but they know man code.
Supposed to know what this man code is, right? And then if you fell it, it's like, oh man, like he
exactly. You felt the test.
They say he ain't no real nigga. That's what they say as soon as you messed up.
Right. Soon as.
That's good. So, now, what would you say? You want to add to that,
Al? Y'all pretty much covered it. The one thing I will say, just to, I guess, be controversial and get it out the way, it seems to only apply to heterosexual men. Like it's implied that it's, for heterosexual men right off the bat.
That's real.
I think this is going to be an excellent discussion, especially because I think you do a great job of just making everybody feel so comfortable and having organic and natural topics, and to keep them positive, constructive. So regardless of what we walk away from, I know we'll be in a better place than we came in.
That's real.
But yeah, I totally agree to an extent. I think certain elements of the man code only are exclusive to the heterosexual man. I think some elements of the man code are emulated by women in some areas. Like there's certain things like loyalty, and I was raised by a single parent, my mother. There are certain things that she taught me, like men do this, so where'd she get that from? So there's certain things. And then finally, again, yes, homosexual men or, pansexual, whatever, however they identify outside of heterosexuality, you're 100% right. There's certain elements that are just waived. You're a heterosexual male, so you don't need to follow X, or these criterion don't apply to you. So I think that's an excellent bring up.
Yeah. And speaking of, since we're on like the sexuality thing, the first thing that popped in my head on my way to the studio was jobs, right? And I was thinking about how man code applies to the jobs that we work at, right? So I think there's this natural sense that that for you as a man, you got to work like a manly job, right? So construction, some kind of physical labor position, those guys kind of seem to get a little bit more respect. Regardless of what the income is, it's just like, oh, you do labor. Like I was with a woman one time, one of the girls that I used to date, and she said something to me along the lines of, oh, well, I need my man to be able to just be good with his hands, he can be a handyman, something like that. I'm like, man, I paid Temple a lot of money
To use this, right? Exactly. Right.
So, and then I started thinking, like, well, like what jobs? Because of Mancode, I never think about. And I thought receptionist, I thought secretary, I thought nurse, daycare workers, and things like that. Like anything that I'm forgetting, guys. Like, how does Mancode impact how we find jobs?
That's a good point. I think you nailed the first ones that somebody, I guess, adhering to man code maybe would look down on. Like you said, I've also heard a woman say that strange comment like, "Oh well, I need a real man, a man who does things with his hands and stuff like that." And it's like, how many jobs that doesn't apply to? That alone. But like you said, even the ones where it's like, and truth be told, I don't know like tons of men that get hired for receptionist and secretary. Like you're right. That really is looked at as a quote unquote feminine job, to the point where maybe even the people hiring see it the same way.
And even think about TV right now. Like, so when you're watching TV, when you see a secretary, it's always the black woman with the long nails holding the phone. Hold on, I got the car online.
Or it's that white woman with the big wig or whatever.
Exactly. Pearl necklace.
Even to a certain extent, and I know there's a lot of male nurses, but even to a certain extent, when you think of nursing, like one of my friends one time told me he was going to nursing school, and my brain was like you're going to nursing school? Not even thinking like men work in that field,
That's true.
I think that's a good. There's two key areas I want to focus on here. I'm going to work backwards. The first piece is, it's kind of like the chicken or the egg thing. Is it there aren't enough male receptionists because men don't apply, or are there not enough male receptionists because men aren't sought after, men aren't recruited, men aren't wanted? For all we know, millions of men could be applying for receptionists or secretary or executive assistant or any of these positions that are viewed as serving positions, serving to assisting someone else, right? So it's so funny because you can make a case for either way. You can make a case that men feel self-conscious, like, hey, I'm not about to be behind no debt. They feel this, that going back to the man code, this, I have to maintain this level of masculinity, and this thing isn't masculine. So I'm not about to go and apply no thing. So I think that's a very interesting talking point. But another area I wanted to focus on what you said about as it relates to jobs. I find that in my experience, and it sounds like from you fellas' experience as well, that usually when it comes to a woman, when it's like holding you, judging you based off the job you have, it stops if it's a grisly job, like if it's that construction worker or anything, you're a plumber, you're a mechanic, the questioning stops. It's not how long you've been doing it. It's like, okay, good, you have this manly job. If it's not any of those things, it's not the stereotypical doctor lawyer job, there's usually a follow-up question. I could say, I work at a daycare. And it could be, oh, you work at a daycare. Oh, I'm actually the founder and CEO. Oh, okay. Now it's okay. Now it's okay because I have this dominant masculine position. So it's okay. It won't matter. I own a receptionist firm. Now the lines get blurred. I own a secretary's firm. So just going back to the point you made, Reese, is I think absolutely there's a twofold perception there. It's what the woman wants her job to have, and also where she has mentally. If she's just looking for stability, she just cares if you pay bills. That's it. But there is a perception, that like I need my man to do this, like to know how to do this type of thing. So I totally agree that it definitely impacts the job search.
Yeah, and it's funny to me, even when we worked together, the person I was with when we worked together would lie to her friends and say that I was the manager. Wasn't the manager.
Really?
I didn't try to say I was the manager, like at all.
Wow.
She would lie and say, "No, he manages the sewer." I'm not.
That's crazy.
A lot of people, but it's
because that's very interesting.
Like you said, being lower down on the rung is like, and even if you talk to people, sometimes you ever been we've all worked in retail before. In retail, someone's yelling at you, like, "Where's the manager? Where's he at?" Like he,
Never
you know,
lie.
Right.
like, where's he at?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, she's back there.
Right.
I'll go get her.
And then she usually isn't really a respect. Like I've been in situations where, and Reese, you might know who I'm talking about, where I've had a female manager,
Yeah.
but I was the assistant, but people would come in, man or woman, would come in expecting me like I run that shit. Now you could talk about certain things like intangibles, leadership qualities, et cetera, but let's say all things being equal, this man, she was the store manager for a reason, but it was just presumed that I was. And it kind of goes back to this man code. Like you have to presume this level of masculinity or success or, you know, whatever the case may be in order to be validated. And I think that's very interesting, to say the least.
That's kind of how we release the jobs. And I think that, you know, I have no problem. I'll just put it out there before I shift to the next topic. But if you're a male and you want to be a receptionist, go for it. If you want to be a secretary, go for it. If you're a man, if you want to be a nurse, go for it. If you want to do hair, go for it. Like whatever you want to do, man. Like I said, we're revising it. You're called as a man to be a provider. If you're feeding your family,
first and foremost.
If you're feeding your family and it causes you to do something that may not be quote unquote a manly job, you're still being a man, and that's what we need to like. That's how we need to revise that code, right? Like
exactly,
you're providing. There's no right way to provide. You get what I'm saying? Like I mean, I'm saying like as long as you're providing, you're doing the thing. So that's that. Yeah, male makeup artist. One of my friends there says male makeup artist. Someone else say cashier or bank teller. That's another one that popped up. So those are the things. All right, so let's talk about man code as it relates to emotions. I know we man. I don't even know where to start at with this one, man. I don't know.
First and foremost, you really taught not to really indulge in them outside of anger. And I guess happiness. Like that's really it. Like you could be really thrilled and excited about something, or you could be really angry. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the two people who try to, I guess, you know, force man code on other people. Those are the two emotions that they're perfectly fine with seeing a man have. If a man is mad enough to punch a hole in the wall, they perfectly fine. Oh, he's just upset. He's going through something. You know, if you hit the shot to win, you know, the game, oh my God, seeing a bunch of people jump up and down like they hit the shot is perfectly fine. That's what men do. They celebrate and they having fun. But a dude who, you know, that same dude who was angry enough to punch a wall, he's not angry anymore. He's sad because whatever it is that made him angry is weighing down on him and crushing his soul. Like he's not allowed to sit there and walk with his head down. Somebody sitting with his head down. Pick your head up, man. Keep your chin up. You'll be fine. You all right. You got it. You a dude. You a man. A real man could get his way through this. And it's like, you didn't tell a real man to calm down and not punch that wall. I'm still supposed to be a real man, but I'm allowed to be a real man if I break something,
right?
And risk my hand for one and somebody else's property. Usually, like that's okay. That's being a real man. That makes no sense. And then
one thing I've seen that on that topic is NFL players when they fight and they punch each other in the helmet. That's one of the dumbest things in the world. I think,
ain't it?
If you're a wide receiver, you literally get paid because of your hands.
It's the most valuable part of your body,
right? Like you know
what it remind me of? It remind me of Steinmeier back that time when the Knicks thought they was going to be good. When they had him and Melo, and he ended up missing the end of the playoff series. It took them forever to get back to the playoffs. They get to the playoffs, he get mad because of loss and punched I think a fire hydrant, they said it was, or something like that. And broke his hand and ended up missing the series. So it's just like, but that was okay until he hurt himself. Like if he hadn't hurt himself, everybody would just be like, oh, he's so passionate, he cares about the game so much, he doesn't mind losing. And that's usually how it is, right? They then want to talk about you about how you had an emotional outburst. You emotionally compromised once you hurt yourself. Otherwise, like they perfectly fine with the emotion.
Right.
It's crazy.
Because the inability to execute is viewed as a weakness for a man, you know.
Facts.
And regardless of what that is, you know, the way I execute, the way I talk to you, the way I execute in the game, on court, on the field, et cetera, the ping pong table. Don't matter. If I fail to execute, I'm not a man. You know, it's crazy as it relates to emotions. I'm thinking, and I have no tangible evidence. This is all anecdotal. You know, I can't go to some article and point at this, but my perception and the way I feel, and my male peers, the way they feel around me, is it seems like women, the girl, she's taught to embrace her emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be this way. And then when she's an adult, she's learning about her goals. What do you want to accomplish? How do you get this thing? How do you be the best woman you can be? You don't have to rely on this man if you don't need to, right? It seems almost reverse for guys. You know, as guys, you think about you're 6 years old, think about being a football star or being a nuclear physicist or you know, whatever the case, when you're thinking about your career as a boy, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, how do you accomplish this? What school you want to go to? What are you going to major in? All these things. And then we're taught as an adult to think about our emotions and manage our emotions and how we should react when we're in a relationship. And I think that's just completely, well, I mean, who's to say what's right and what's wrong? But
we can say it's wrong. We can say it's wrong because we the reason why I'm gonna say we can say it's wrong is because it seems like that's only the case because it's what's convenient. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, having us so goal oriented on what we want to be in the future or what we're gonna be, what kind of man we're gonna turn out to be. Like we're already hearing that at 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, definitely 13 through 17, and especially at 18. All you're hearing about is the man that you're supposed to, you know, grow up to be. And now you're a man and women want you. Women want to hire you. Women have to work with you. And now they have to deal with the fact that you're emotionally stunted. So now everybody needs you to be in touch with your emotions. Right. Now everybody needs you to not just be super ecstatic, happy, or super roid rage angry. You know what I'm saying? Now they need you to have balance. Now they need you to be a person who can go, you know, to himself and cry it out if he needs to, or talk it out, because it's a convenience thing. That's why it's such a big deal.
Yeah, that is huge. And I think another area as it pertains to emotion is someone telling you how to do it. I think when the men who do find themselves in a situation where they have to express their emotions, they're told how you do it. Hey man, if you're gonna cry, walk away this way, or you know, hey, if you're gonna be happy, be this way, or it's okay to be support. You know, we're giving this box, like, you know, oh, you can be happy as long as it's this way, or you can be angry as long as it's this way. You know, and it's just it's tough to try to navigate that, and with nobody really as an example. The visual example, fellas, is so important. It's so important. So if I'm growing up, in regards to father, uncle, cousin, brother, whoever, if I don't see another man expressing his emotions, then in my mind, he's dictating on how I'm supposed to be when I get his age.
Yes, and the crazy thing about that is, when I was in like high school, like I was just a happy kid, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had just moved and got my own bedroom for the first time, and I was finally getting video game systems in my room. So it's pretty bright eyed and innocent in high school. And I just remember, walking to the room, people were like, "Why are you always smiling? Like, oh, you must be gay because you're always smiling." And
wow.
It's like, okay. Well, I guess I don't smile anymore now because you know, I'm happy. Even recently, I've gotten it as an adult from someone before. They were like, "Why are you always so happy?" And I was just like, "I'm blessed, man." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I started responding with, "I'm blessed." And you know, when it comes to emotions, I got, you know, a comment from Nigel right here. Nigel said there's even limitations on how we are able to be happy. We got to be manly happy, right? Like it's only really okay to be happy when it involves some sort of competition. Like you can celebrate victories and, you know, be it sporting, be it video games, be it some kind of a competition, you can be happy. But if you're happy about anything else, you got to kind of be like, yeah, you know, I got that, John.
Right, yeah. You know, I did all right.
Yeah, man,
you know.
Like, I'm all right, man. You know, something like, man. You know, it's like even when you see somebody, tell me like, yo, bro, I see you got that fresh shirt on. Oh no, man, that's just, you know, yeah, I mean, I mean, like, why can't you say, yeah, you know, like I worked my behind off for this shirt. Like, I mean, like my bills been really tight, my money been really tight, but you know, I'm very proud that I was able to buy myself this Mamba out shirt because, like, I mean, it means a lot to me because it's something that I got for myself. It's a physical reward or a tangible reward for my hard work, like that I do. Like I work 40 hours a week. I take care of my kids all the time. Like this is a tangible reward. Same thing, Reese. You know what I'm saying? You did something. You did something right. If you used to come with me, if you walked up to me not like, yo, that Mamba shirt that you on fire, bro, I like it. I gotta downplay it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
You know, it's just a shirt, man. I mean, I just got it off of it.
Right. Cause then I'm cocky or arrogant or conceited or narcissistic. You know, I'm all these different things, and you know, I think that's just next level. It's amazing. I'm sorry. I'm going to be thinking about this for the rest of the night, Reese, because it's reminding me so much of high school. I still find it crazy to me that someone can make a judgment call on your sexuality based on how happy in high school. That's so crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. This person don't even know what like a 401k is yet. You know, and they sitting here. Oh man, that's next level. I feel I don't know how many other topics you got on the gamut, Reese, but I feel like the three of us could be stuck on this one for a good chunk. A good chunk. It's
a big wall, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's emotional. And then I mean, even like the expression of emotion, right? When it comes to Mancode, you know, not just happy and anger. Like anger gets smiled upon. If you're mad, it's cool. Like you see memes all the time. I just want a nigga that's gonna grab me by the neck and put me in my place. Why?
Why? Yeah, right. Why, right?
Why do you want that? Like I'm talking.
You know he's gonna hurt you later.
It's gonna hurt both of y'all.
Right. Be like, I get turned on if you yell at me. I get turned on if you get mad at me. I get turned on when you're angry with me. Why? Why do I have to be that way? Like, why do I have to get angry with you to, you know what I'm saying, get that kind of a response? Like, why? There's so many whys to that. So for me, for this expression of emotion, man, Mancode when it relates to emotion, we just look, man, it's nothing wrong with expressing your emotions and feeling
not at all.
Like it's nothing wrong with it. Like if someone dies, you should be sad. If you got a new job, you should be happy. You know what I'm saying? If you got a big date for somebody that you like, you should be excited about it. If you bought yourself something that you think that's nice, you should be proud of yourself. It's okay to pat yourself on the back sometimes. It's okay to be like, dang, yo, I got this new car. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like even the little small stuff, like, man, when I was super duper broke, if I went to go get a 4-piece wing platter from the Chinese store, I had a lot of pride in that. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
that extra wing go a long way, bro. Right. That extra wing go a long way,
good, bro. Yeah. I don't care what nobody says.
And you said rewriting the Mancode. Everything you just said, other men need to say that. Other men need to just like Reese is sitting here telling us and others, the audience, whomever's watching, it's okay for you to be happy when you get a promotion. It's okay to be sad if someone passes, et cetera, et cetera. Other men need to tell other men that because it has a different impact. It has a different impact.
I mean, even in how we express our emotions amongst each other, like people will go ahead and grind you up. If a dude have a breakdown, another dude grab him and be like, "Don't worry, bro, I got you." Look at them; they look like a couple. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see your homeboy in a minute. Not even in a minute. Sometimes it just be that homie that you really rock with. So y'all do a longer embrace than you would with a stranger. You know, you bring him in. Y'all get the whole hug for real, for real. Y'all ain't got to do the little pat on the shoulder. That's your brother.
Right.
That's like your brother. That's your man's. You know what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like they looking at y'all crazy, and it's like, well, damn. But if we beefing with each other and we taking each other out, like too many of us are, then it's, well, there needs to be more love. There needs to be more love. Guys gotta treat each other better. So where does it even out?
You just
that's why, like you said, we have to rewrite it.
You transition because my next topic was Mancode as it relates to male on male relationships. So
that's perfect.
Transition there perfectly. I think that this is a big one that needs to be revised too, because like you said, like there's a terrible like oh my gosh, guys, I was really depressed over the summer, and on me, I didn't reach out to anybody. And shame on me, because I was coming on and doing this show every 2 weeks talking about being healthy. The whole time I was super depressed, probably from like June to like August. Like I was down and really depressed. It hit a real bad point in July too, like really, really low point in July. So shame on me for that. Like I'm doing all this preaching. I got to do better myself. But what I will say is there were a couple of people I reached out to and was like, hey, I'm depressed. And outside of that conversation, I didn't hear from them. Like, we got to do better. Like, it takes a lot to reach out and say, I'm depressed. But for me to say, hey, I'm depressed, and then be like, oh, man, you know, like, that's crazy. And then you're like, and now I'm sitting in this depression for 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I think of depression, when it relates to male on male, but not depression, but just like Mancode, when it relates to male on male relationships, I think about myself, right? Because when I've been on the other side of that, when I've seen someone and I know they're going through something, and I've been like, oh, he be all right. Yeah, or I might reach out one time, yo, Tim, you trying to go out tomorrow? You're depressed, so obviously you're going to say no. Like that's what depression does. Depression makes you want to know that everything that you typically would like to do. Yo, Tim, you want to go out? No. Well, I tried, man.
Right, I tried. If he want to go, he'll tell me. He'll tell me if he want to go. He'll let me know. He'll be good. He be all right. Right, exactly.
So when it comes to male relations, we got to do better, man. We just got to do better. I'll let you guys chime in on that, man. I don't want to take that whole topic. I got a lot to say about that.
I feel you.
Yeah, I just think the problem is just the perception, man. I mean, you can put a Band-Aid on a broken leg all you want, but it's just the perception, you know. And I think you start with the perception by getting a child while he's young, and even when he's early in his teenagers. Like me personally, I was involved in 2 groups. One of them, Concerned Black Men, which I'm sure a lot of people may be familiar with. I had that in middle school at 6th and 7th grade at that. And we talked about a lot of different things. And one thing we didn't talk about is our emotions, you know. But I'm just sitting there thinking, like, everything I learned in 6th grade from that mentor group, from Black men who look and sound like me, was so impressionable. And I'm just thinking about if during that period of time, we also set out a slice in time to talk about emotions. Hey, you got a crush on a girl? Oh, you come at her. Why didn't you come at her? Oh, well, you know, how did you feel when she said this? Or if we had those discussions at 12 years old, I can't even imagine how much further along I would be now. And it starts at home too. You know, my mother, like I said, was raised single parent household. My mother didn't really have constructive conversations or productive conversations about emotion. Hey, you know, same thing. Because let's be honest, when you're a teenager, your primary concern, and even if it's not, you're told your primary concern is women. So, you know, that would be a great, I think, entry point. Like, hey, how did you feel when she did this? Or how do you feel when you just around her? Like, just talk about that. And, you know, who knows? All of us probably could be 10 times more romantic if we had those discussions at 12, 13, 14 years old. But for me, Reese, before I passed over, is just perception. And I think starting on the perception starts when you're young and you're malleable.
Oh, that's 100% true. I could just piggyback off that because nothing he said was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is a thing that has to happen when you're young. Like Tim, I was raised in a single parent household. So out of all the gifts and all the skills my mom taught me, we really did not sit around and talk about my emotions. And there were certain things I felt like I wasn't even allowed to have emotions on. So, you know, you getting that, like you said, at home, that's how it feels. Definitely when you go out in the world, that's how it feels, because there's probably other kids being raised just like how me and Timmy never met before in life, but we had that same thing. There's a bunch of us Black boys out there being raised the same way, to not be encouraged to, you know, discuss our emotions, to go through them and stuff like that. So when we get with each other, of course, we're going to hold each other to that same standard. You know what I'm saying? Because we think we're being raised right. And it's not that somebody's, you know, trying not to raise us wrong. They just don't know better.
Exactly.
But now in this day and time, we know better. So we have to do better. You know, we have to tell our sons, you know what I mean? My son is 13. I'm having talks with him about his emotions all the time. He's a very sensitive kid, but I'm trying to get him to understand that there is a balance. No, I don't want him crying every time he get upset, but I want him to understand that it's okay to cry, period. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to have an emotion and still get the job done. And then it's okay to have the emotions that's so high you say, I can't do it.
Right.
Dad, I need a timeout. I need a break. I need a hug, Dad. Like whatever's going on, I just need a hug. Like how he started the I don't want to take too much time, but how he started off with Kobe, the Kobe music. When Kobe passed, like
oh man,
I was stuck. I was frozen. And then hearing that Gigi went with him, I was heartbroken. Like I literally could not get out of my couch. And my son came out, my oldest son came out, and he saw me. And he's like, Dad, what happened? Then he looked at the TV, and then he saw me trying to hold back tears. And then he just came and like put his arms around me, and I just couldn't hold him back anymore. I just started crying. He's like, it's gonna be okay, Dad. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I was kind of like, I felt like, in retrospect, not at that moment, of course, but in retrospect, I felt like, you know what? I must be doing something right. Because he didn't look at me like I was crazy for crying over, an NBA superstar or an athlete who I've never, met on a face-to-face personal basis. He knew that as an entity, Kobe Bryant mattered to me and that he was no longer here. So, you know what I'm saying? So it matters. And because it mattered to me, it mattered to him. And I'm allowed to have that breakdown no matter how strong he sees me.
That's huge.
So I felt like, there we go. I felt like that was a point for me, like when I looked at it further on down the line. Because that's what I need him to get.
And I'll I'm not playing devil's advocate, but I'm kind of on the other side of the coin. I did grow up in a 2-parent household. My dad had a really bad drinking problem. I'm 32 years old, and I can only remember one time, and it happened like last year, that someone talked to me and said, "Hey, I know your dad had a bad drinking problem." Like, and people would be over the house and see it. Like, people in the school saw it. No one at any point ever said, "Hey, how does this impact you?"
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Living in this environment day in and day out, how has that affected you? It was, one time, someone outside the family, and my older brother did. Shout out to Bill. He pulled me aside and talked to me about it as an adult as well. And he was a big catalyst for me going to therapy. I know, Tim, I talked about therapy on your podcast.
Oh yeah, we're huge on therapy.
Yeah, shout out to Bill. I say it every episode. Let me get my plug in right now. Black men need therapy. Black men need therapy. Black men need therapy.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
It is okay to go. You're not weak. We're talking about man codes and emotions and standards here. You're not weak if you get help as a human species. We don't even know 100% of how our own brain, something that's inside of our own body, works. Do not feel upset if you don't know what you're experiencing and you don't know how to express it. You don't know what it means. You want a licensed plumber, a professional plumber to come, and I don't know, what do plumbers do? Plumb? You want them to come over
fix your pipes
and do that. Like, you're not going to get the handyman unless you got to. You're not going to get the handyman. You're going to get the licensed professional. Why not do the same thing for something that's inside your body? We're talking about pipes and water. Talking about your brain. This is your heart, your veins. That's your water. Those are your pipes. Like, go see somebody about it. I'm sorry, Reese. It's just
absolutely no. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the train running. Yeah. Absolutely, go. Like, take the stigma. We talking about rewriting Mancode. Let's say we taking the stigma off of therapy, man. What's weak is knowing that there's something wrong with you and thinking that you can just man your way through it because everybody else has to suffer. What's weak is saying you don't care enough about yourself and everybody else around you who you affect to go get the help just because of pride, or as you said, perspective, not perspective. What was the word you used? What was the word you used? Tim, I had it. Perception. There we go.
Okay.
Because of perception, you're gonna let perception keep you from being full, from being whole, a whole person, because of what somebody else thinks. I thought that was part of Mancode, not letting what another man thinks of you dictate your life. So you know what I'm saying? That's why we said this is something that you gotta kind of, really, really got to rewrite this thing and revise it. So take the action. That's what's being strong. Like we say, even in team dynamics, what's being strong is asking your teammate for help. A therapist is your teammate,
Beautiful.
fam.
100%.
A therapist is a teammate. Go get the help.
100%. Yeah, I really like that. I like that you said, what's weak is letting someone else perception, and I would add on to say what's weak is not confronting your weakness. That's huge. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's great. That's great stuff. This is great. You got a little something going on here, Reese.
Man, Reese really got it, man. Reese really got this, yo.
I was just talking to a 21-year-old nephew. Literally just talking to my 21-year-old. Right? Grew up in the same house with him. And I was like, I'm about to do this episode about Mancode. I just want to throw this out here just to see how it's fun. So I was like, yo, man, you ever think about going to therapy? He was like, why? Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Wow.
I wasn't going to pry with him right now. I legit just wanted to make sure I wasn't making this stuff up about how people respond to it. like just say that to him. I'm like, no, you absolutely need therapy, sir. Like, and I know now to kind of work with him and talk to him about how that's okay. And that's one of my goals in 2021 to kind of start having those.
Most of us running around with PTSD, man. We don't want to say it. We don't want to admit it. But
that's the thing. When it goes back to that male, like to kind of bring it full circle, because we were talking about Mancode as it relates to male relationships, we got to check each other. Like, we got to do a better job of checking each other. Like, bro, like, I mean, like, you should probably talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should probably, like, stop telling people to man up. Can we kill the man up term? Like, unless you foul me and I scrape my knee on the court, you can tell me to man up then.
Right. I was about to say, like, right.
It's a different dynamic on the court. It's a different dynamic on the court, bro. That was all ball. That was all ball. That was all ball.
Clean. That's real. In real life, we got to remix man up. We got to remix it to mean something important. Man up and go get therapy.
When it comes to real
man up and treat your woman better. Man up and get you some help. You know what I'm saying? Man up and watch it, take care of your kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what man up should entail. Not like you said, running from your problems. What's manly about that?
Exactly.
Right. And we just got to do a better job of supporting one another, man. I feel like male on male support also looks like, here, drink this. Here, smoke this.
Smoke that.
Here's a girl. You know what I mean? You depressed. I know how depression can lead to substance abuse, but what I'm going to do is take you out to a bar every night.
Right.
Like, what we doing? What we doing?
I ain't even think about it like that.
Oh, man, I know how depression can lead to addiction, but here, Tim, smoke this weed. It'll make you feel better. What are we doing? Like, how are you helping people? You're teaching them to numb it. You're teaching them to numb it.
And what's crazy about that numbing is other people outside the male community see that. Women see that. And then what happens? You get into a relationship with a woman who maybe know, like, oh, let me perform a sexual act to make him feel okay. All he needs is sex and he'll feel okay. Or let me buy him a new game. He'll feel okay. Let me get him new sneakers. He'll feel okay. So to every man listening, it's not just about how we impact one another. It comes full circle because the boys, the girls, and the women who see how we treat each other will treat us the same way because we're teaching them allegedly how we want to be treated. So it all comes full circle. It all comes full circle. It's not just about how, we see men treat other men. It's about how other people see men treat other men. Because even, it's so funny. It kind of reminds me of a story. So one of my best friends was getting married. I was really proud of him, hugged him, and his fiance at the time said, "Oh, we had a bromance," and she was like, "Oh, look at them," and context matters. Context matters. Let's be honest, we break each other balls all the time, and it's funny, and I think it's okay when it's something a little funny, like if I hit Reese up, my wrist hurt. Man, I've been working all day, my wrist hurt. I'm like, oh, you want me to kiss it? You need me to kiss it? All right, that's just guys being guys. But if Reese like, man, I think she might leave me, bro, or hey, I don't think I'll be able to get my kid in the school I want, or whatever. Man, you be cool, man. Like, that's where you cross the line, and at that point, You really need to take a look at how we treat each other and move and evolve the man code, rewrite the man code.
And that's that's good stuff. Nigel got a comment here I want to address, but right before I get to Nigel's comment, I do want to talk about the last discussion thing. We kind of dug into it a little bit, but man code as it relates to mental health, right? So like I think that the all of this stuff kind of relates to mental health, and I think that not just in Black men, but I think in not just in Black people, but in society as a whole, I feel like there's a huge like blind eye turned to real mental health issues, right? So unless you have something serious like a autism or like a Down syndrome, like a what I'm saying, real mental retardation type thing, like any other mental health issues are kind of like neglected heavily, especially within the Black society. And I think a lot of Black men have real mental health issues. But as it relates to man code, again, we don't talk about them. We tease each other, we downplay them, we make them seem like they aren't real, that they don't exist, and we don't adequately support them through these crises. So you might have someone that mentions that I was just talking to a brother last night, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm bipolar, I'm bipolar, I'm bipolar, I'm bipolar." But what do we do to support someone who's saying like I'm bipolar? You know what I'm saying? Like a guy legit called me yesterday. He was just like going through some things, baby mama drama. He was going through some things with like his mental health. He was going through some things with his physical health. And like talking to him, I'm listening to him talk. And maybe like 10 minutes into the conversation, in my mind, I was saying, I don't feel like listening to this right now, man. Like, I don't feel like listening to this. Like, I'm chilling tonight. Like, I just got off of work. My kid's not here tonight. Like, I'm just trying to lay back, play some 2K and chill. I'm not listening to you. But then I had to check myself, right? I had to look in the mirror and say, he's reaching out to you. Like, he needs help. Like, he needs someone, like he might not even, I don't know what he needs. I don't know if I could give him exactly what he needs, but I know what I could do is listen in that moment and not blow him off and not tell him, oh man, you just tripping. Oh man, like, like, ain't nothing wrong with you. You good, bro. Like, so I took the time and I really listened to him. I was on the phone for like an hour and I probably only talked for like 5 minutes of that hour myself. The rest of the time I was just sitting there listening to him, let him get it out because I could tell that that's what he needed in that moment to deal with everything that was going on. And the only thing I said to him was, I didn't invalidate anything that he said. I said, bro, you got a lot going on right now. Just prioritize them. Like, you can't attack everything at once. Prioritize. Figure out which one you want to attack first and work your way down the list. And he was like, yo, thanks for saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like, I didn't say anything he said or felt was wrong. Nothing he said or felt was wrong. And I'll tell anybody that. Like, you're not wrong for feeling any kind of way. When if your girl breaks up with you, you should feel sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone close to you passed, like when Kobe passed away, like, we should feel sad about that.
It'd be weird not to.
Like, even with the friendship, to your point, Tim, because when my brother, shout out to Mill again, when he got married, I'm boo-hooing crying. Don't tell nobody I said this, y'all, because I deny it to this day. But I'm up front, like when the groomsmen, like, boo-hoo crying up there. And they mess with me to this day about it. But like, it was my brother and the closest, probably the closest man on the earth to me, especially now that my father passed away. Like, closest thing to a father figure I've had since my dad has passed away. And he's getting married to the woman of his dream. I'm happy. That's an emotional moment for me as well, because I'm happy for him. And it's like, in a moment, of course, like, it's more busting the balls, like you said, Tim. But like, still, I should have felt that emotion in that time. It's nothing wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong.
Emotion in that time period, but for whatever reason, we don't allow people to feel it. It's always, don't feel that, don't do that. Oh, hurry up and get over that. Like my thing to people is, take your time to get through that. Like, my favorite quote I used to tell people when I used to work in the welfare office and I would see clients and they would be sad. I would say, yo, if you cry for 10 minutes today and you cry for 9 minutes and 59 seconds tomorrow, you made progress. You made progress. That's one less second that you spent crying. Like, and then like, just keep building. Stop trying to hurry, rush through the process. A process takes time. Look, the 6 was in the process for how many years? But they still in the process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They started.
Right.
Hey, testing our trust.
Right. They're in the process for how long? So these things take process. They take time. Each thing is a step. So you take a little step. The goal for me, what I'm telling people is always like, try to do a little bit better the next day than what you did. You don't got to take a whole leap the next day. You'll have days where you take a leap, right, Tim? You'll have moments where you take a leap forward, and like you should celebrate those moments. But for the most part, it's like, all right, man, like I've been depressed. I laid in bed all day today. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get up and sweep the floor.
Right? Yeah.
That's progress.
And that little thing can push you in the right direction. As minor as it may seem, exactly, you can build on it. That's huge. That's huge. Are we? I know we're approaching an hour. How are we on time?
I usually gotta give myself a 15-minute grace period, so feel free.
Okay. Well, in that case, shout out to no.
Back on the block.
Shout out to Mo, Mookie, man. Everybody knows a man.
Everybody knows a man.
Everybody knows a man. That's like a universe. It's like a zip code requirement. Like you need one man per zip code. But I wanted to touch on, like, as you say, the mental health. And earlier you mentioned that, like, we got to do better to encourage it. That's another situation where it comes back to education. And I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but education is a huge cure to a lot. Fear is a symptom of ignorance. Fear is only a symptom. You never attack the symptom. Education is a cure. So what you do is, how do you cure ignorance? You educate people, and that's essentially what you got to do about mental health. And I think that what I've done, you've done a great job on your show, Reese, and I love to see more Black men do it on their show, is talk about their therapy sessions. Hey, I did this in therapy today. One of my favorite comedians of all time, Bill Burr. I know he's a white guy, but he's also bald. So 50%. Bald guy. He talks about therapy regularly on his podcast. I think for the best thing to do is just to normalize it. Like, for me personally, I'm in a fraternity. When brothers ask me, like, "Hey, what you got?" I say, "Hey, I got you right after therapy. My therapy is that's it." I don't say I got something to do. I don't say I got an appointment. People think like therapy is a sign of weakness, or if you say therapy, now you got to say what you're in therapy for. Not necessarily. You can be really discreet about certain things and give people everything they need to know, and not say a thing. People see me prioritize therapy. I've had people hit me up, "Yo, bro, Wednesday night, this, that. What time? Because I got therapy from 6 to 6. I insert it. I purposely say it. I have therapy. Normalize it. So I think that's one thing, that to educate people about how normal it is. But I just want to close with this. A lot of people, Black men in particular, find themselves in this really weird limbo. It's kind of like the train station in the Matrix where Neo was stuck at for a while. It's like this really weird, like, Pandora zone where you don't know what you should ask. So now you're ignorant, right? You don't know, okay, this person told me they suffer from being bipolar. This person is a little bit on the spectrum. This person has split personality disorder or OCD, whatever. I don't know how to ask about it or seek it, because I'm either supposed to know it already, or if I ask, now people look down their nose at me. Now, if I ask people, "What you mean you don't know about that? Why do you don't know about this?" So I think what it was, for the people who don't know, don't be discouraged when you don't know and you go to ask somebody something and that person call you an idiot because you don't know. Like, just ignore that person, move on to the next person. But also for the people who do know, who are privileged or blessed with the knowledge and education, that's not yours. Knowledge is not meant to be withheld. Everything you know is not yours, except for your social security number, maybe. But everything you know is not yours. You know something, share it, pass it along, give it to people. You never know how many lives you can impact or touch just by sharing that one little nugget of information. So I just want to get that out there. Just because you know something doesn't make you better than somebody, just makes you more knowledgeable. And just because you don't know doesn't make you an idiot. Just go find out. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated by your ignorance.
And Tim, one before I get up for the I just want to add in that it's funny when I heard you saying like people when they see that you relate to it, they feel like it's okay too. So for like the therapy thing, when they hear you say, "Oh, I got therapy," people are like, "Oh man, Tim go to therapy." I mean, I can go too. Like I just had a situation where I was interviewing a guy at work, and his PlayStation. He was playing PlayStation before I interviewed because it's over Zoom, and I can see that like he had the game on like PlayStation home screen. So like I try to relate to people when I'm interviewing. So I'm like, "Oh man, you playing PlayStation over there? I see what you playing." So I have a PlayStation, so I watched him scroll from the game that he was actually playing and put it in on 2K and say, "Oh no, man, I was just playing 2K."
Wow.
Man, I was just playing 2K, and I played the game that he was playing. I was like, "No, man, it looked like you had Monster Hunter up there, man. Yeah, yo, I played that joint. I'm stuck on that Monster Energy content." He was like, "Oh, you liked it? Yeah, man, that joint fire."
Well, in that case, let me tell you about my character build.
But like I think that's how a lot of men are with things. It's like I feel like when that Mancode, right? I feel like if I'm a gamer, the only games I can play are 2K, Grand Theft Auto, and Call of Duty. So when you got the PlayStation, I had to hurry up and go to one of the big three so he don't look at me as a weirdo. But when I said, "Nah, man, I play that too." "Oh, really? Like, really, you play that too?" "Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it." You know, and that's how we are with therapy. That's how we are with a bunch of stuff, man. Like a whole bunch of stuff, man. And that's heavy. Like talk about some of these things. Like, no, I have mental illness. No, I'm unhappy right now. No, I'm depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm bothered. It's kind of like, to go to a point that was made in the last episode. You do have to be careful who you seek counsel for. Everyone's not equipped. Everyone is not equipped. Like I always would get the example. I was dating a girl one time, and she would always talk to like one of her friends who had like cheating issues and infidelity and stuff in her relationship for advice. And I was like, she can't give you advice about the relationship because she's like in a messier situation. Like you have to find someone else to talk to. So be careful of who it is that you're seeking that counsel from. But seek counsel, man. Like you'd be surprised when you start opening up how many people relate and won't judge. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes another thing I'll say before I give you the floor, and our last thing is group settings are a completely different environment than a one-on-one.
Oh, absolutely.
Group settings are a completely different environment. So we can get together 6 or 7 of us, and it becomes a flexing contest. Like, hold my beard, hold my beard. Oh, you did that one. Hold my beard, hold my. It becomes that. But if you talk to somebody in a one-on-one, you realize, I'm chill. Like, I feel you for that, man. Like, I'm sure we all have those experiences where we've been in a group set and someone's been kind of joking around and jostling around with you. And then one person, after it ended, pulls you aside and like, "Nah, man, you was cool, man. That was wrong to say that to me."
Right.
Or they was wrong to treat me. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage one-on-one conversations. I encourage being wise on who you seek counsel about with your mental health issues. And I encourage talking about it to a therapist. Usually you can find what we talked about, the employee assistance program. You can typically find some free therapy sessions. Black Man Hill is a page on Instagram where they offer free therapy. You can find free, just Google, like we're black, honestly. That's one time being black comes in handy right now.
Comes in handy, yeah.
When it comes to therapy, you can usually find something free just because you're black. Nah.
I want to kind of backtrack to something you said in terms of us supporting each other as far as mental health goes. I'll start back with Tim's point about getting educated, knowing what's what. If somebody tells you they're struggling with bipolar, disorder, and you don't know what that is, it's okay to sit there and be like, "Oh, I don't know what's going on with that." You want to talk about it? Like, do you want to, give them the floor? Because you know what I'm saying? That shows that you care, especially, you know what I'm saying? When you care about that person, make that effort, take that extra couple of steps to ask the question, let them educate you because they're dealing with it. But also, I kind of had a story similar to yours where there's a dude who talks to me every weekend and he complains every single weekend. I see him, and people have observed it and be like, "Hey man, ain't you at work?" You ain't got nothing better to do than just sit there and listen to him complain every weekend. I said, and it's something I say all the time. I'd rather hear your problems. I'd rather listen to your problems now than be silent at your funeral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because suicide is a thing. Like it really is. But not just that, actions that lead to your death. Like sometimes it's not going to be a person that just up and takes pills or slits their wrist or puts a gun to their head. That'll be the person who gets into a fight that he had no chance of winning against a bunch of dudes and loses his life. That's the person who drives too fast in the car while they argue, and they're not paying attention and they bang out. You know what I'm saying? That's the person who wasn't feeling well, but because they're angry and they don't have another outlet, they go and play whatever sport that they shouldn't be playing, that they should be on the sideline, and they get hurt and it wrecks them forever. That's the person who picks up a drug that normally they didn't mess with. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they were a person who smoked weed, but because now everything's building up, weed is not enough for them. They need something stronger. You know what I'm saying? So when we say suicide, sometimes it's not just straight up, or I'm taking myself out immediately. It's risky behavior and detrimental behavior that will lead to the end or shortening of your life.
A slow down.
And so, you know what I'm saying? So I always say, like, I'm gonna listen to your problems now, so I don't have to stand silent at your funeral later. It's just that simple. Like, just take that extra step. I know you get tired of hearing somebody complain about the same thing and not fixing it. I know it's annoying. It is. I'm not even going to cap. But do it. If you care about that person, do it. Let them get it off their chest. Because one day they might come back to you with the fix. You know what I'm saying? One day they might come back and tell you, well, I started trying this. I started trying that. And it also makes it okay for them to talk.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It gives them a safe space. Perfect phrase. It gives them a safe space because this show is a safe space, in my opinion. That's why I always big Reese up for it. It's a 100%. Safe space to say these things and to get across to other men and even women who watching the show and are involved with men or meet men. Let them know, like, you can do these things. You can go get therapy. You can have emotions. You could stop, with the bravado, just trying to put on this face because somebody said you're a man, so you have to. Nah, man, just go ahead and let that man get his problems out. And like Reese said, you don't even have to give him the fix and tell him how to fix it. Just be like, all right, so what do you think you got something you could do about it? Or you think you got any plans about it? Nah, man, I don't even know what I'm going to do right now. That's all right. Take your time. Take your time to figure it out. Take your time to figure it out. Don't be scared and always encourage them to ask for help. Don't be scared to ask for help if you need it, though. And you'd be surprised what that do for some people.
Leave a lasting impression.
Yeah,
absolutely. And they pass it on.
One thing I want to add on to what you said is one big thing that you said that I wanted to make sure I talked about on this. Like, can we stop with the texting, guys? Like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get a gauge on how you're feeling emotionally, Tim, if I text you, yo, you good? I don't get a gauge on how you're feeling. Like, and you're not going to tell me anything but, yeah, I'm straight. Like,
there's no context there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to, I saw one of those in the screenshots I sent you guys. One of the things said, no conversation with a man should last longer than 5 minutes. F that. F that. Like, F that. Like,
long conversations are so fulfilling.
Like, yeah, I mean, I drive a lot, so like my son lives out maybe 40 minutes away from here, so I do that drive pretty regularly. That's for me, that's an opportunity to have a conversation with someone. That's an opportunity for me to reach out to somebody. And it's okay if they don't answer. That's the reason that your phone gives you a missed call notification. If they're busy, they don't answer. If they're not busy, they do answer. And if you're really that concerned, text them. Hey, bro, I got this drive I'm about to take at 7:00. Is it cool if I call you?
That's huge.
You know what I'm saying?
That's huge. That's huge.
You know what I mean? I get off of work today. One of my good friends lives down in Maryland. I text him like, yo, bro, I mean, I get off of work around 5:30. Is it cool if I call you on my drive home? If not, when's a good time for us to catch up? Yeah, I mean, do things like that. That's how you're able to have meaningful conversations. Like meaningful conversations. You can't do that via text. Text is cool if I got a meme I want to send you. If I'm just like, yeah, I mean, try having
send me those memes, bro.
I mean, that's
those the Hotep memes. Send me them Jones, bro.
right. So like, if I hit you up and I'm like, yo, bro, man, I'm depressed right now, and you text me every day for the next 2 weeks, you good? You're not helping me.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really doing like, because even if I'm not good, when I'm gonna say no, bro, I'm not good.
Then what?
Right.
Then what? Right.
20
Exactly.
minutes, 20 minutes, I'm waiting for you to respond. If you get distracted with work or sidetracked, then what? So something that I'm trying to be mindful to do is like I try to pick at least one person per week to just call. Yo, how you doing? It don't even like it's I don't even want, yo, you good? You straight? No, man, I ain't want nothing, man. I was just checking in with you, man. Like, and it's funny because I do that, and people
People
always
love to hear that. I ain't want nothing. I was just checking on you.
people think I'm dying. Like, I hit them like, yo, they're like, yo, what's up? I'll be like, I ain't want nothing, man. I just want to make sure you have a check.
It's because we so used to task-oriented phone calls. Like you calling me for something that when you not, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful, bro.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even my
That's
brother,
powerful.
man, my older brother, I was really mindful to get closer to him, and I'll hit him up sometimes, like, yo, man, what you doing tonight? I'm gonna stop at the house. He'd be like, yeah, I'm like, no, man, just want to come through. Like, I mean, we'll get a chance to chat and talk. Is it okay with you? I check with his wife, Taj. I know she's probably watching. So, like, especially in the midst of this pandemic right now, because you know we used to do the Wayne night. And that was kind of like our time to get together. With that being absent, I realized in my depression point that I hit, I realized I actually didn't break out of it until we hooped for my birthday. Now that was me getting to the other side of it. I was like, damn, yo, I'm finally around my friends. I haven't been around these guys for 5-6 months. This took a
Yo,
total.
missing guys is a thing. Speaking of rewriting Mancode, you can miss dudes, yo.
Yes,
right.
You can miss your homies.
You can miss and tell them.
Right.
Real rap, Tim. You could tell them.
Like, I can't, like, I recognize I need my friends. So, like, I recognize. And there are times that, you know, one thing that I do want to, she always messing with me. Ty, she gonna put on there, you're not invited. I used to have a key system. I don't got it no more, but I'm gonna get it back. But that's a major thing. Like meaningful conversations. And if you think that person is busy, like Nirie said, I think more people feel that way than we care to express. Like most of us would rather hear about your problems than be silent at your funeral. That's how most of us feel. I don't think anyone feels that way, but like we just gotta do a better job. So set some time aside. That would be my homework. If I had a takeaway for the guys watching this, your homework would be choose one man friend per week. Not the same dude that you talk to every day, not the dude that's gonna hit you up. Choose somebody every week. Just give them a call. Yo, you cool? If they don't answer, shoot them a text. Yo, man, I don't want nothing. I just want to, check in and catch up. You know what I mean? It only takes half hour, an hour. If they're going through something, follow up. You know what I'm saying? If everything cool, they seem like they cool, check them off the list, put them back in the rotation. Serpentine. So there's always a constant rotation of guys. Figure eight, like, and keep going through the list.
Right. Everybody will be better for it.
Right. And you'd be amazed, not just for them, what it's doing, but for you, what it's doing. And also to that point, those memes that say, yo, I stop hitting people up and people stop checking on me. So what? So what? Of the people that I call and check on, most of them don't call and check on me. What? Like legit.
That's that hurt talk.
Right. Exactly. You bitter. You bitter.
I really don't care. Half the time, like, if you call me and I'm in chill mode, I'm probably slightly annoyed anyway. So what if I'm not getting called and checked on?
Right.
Right. You call me, I'm in the middle of watching the movie. Now I got to pause the movie.
I got to pause the movie. Because if I don't answer, why you call me? You ain't answer, bro. And that's all.
Right.
Yeah. Call me if I don't answer. I apologize. The dude that I was just telling you about from yesterday, he sent me a message like Saturday. I didn't even respond to the message. I finally had some time last night. I texted him, yo, bro, I'm free. Give me a call if you can. He called me. We chatted. If he didn't, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So, one person per week. That would be my homework for you guys. One person. Right. One person per week, be it a family member.
That's the new challenge, the 1 man a week challenge.
Right.
1 man a week challenge. That's heavy.
Might have to add some context there, though, brother.
Oh yeah, you're right. Pause.
I don't know how much we want to rewrite the man code, brother.
The true man code.
Ladies, y'all shouldn't be doing the 1 man a week challenge, ladies.
Right. Why y'all get to do it? We can't do it. Why y'all get to do it? We can't do it.
Oh Lord.
They don't want y'all to do the 1 man a week challenge.
Right. That's funny.
Man.
Oh, snap.
Man, this has been great, man. We could probably
do that one.
We could probably go on for forever, guys, man. In respect to people's times, man, I want to get you guys closing thoughts in and tell the guys how to find you and things like that. Your closing thoughts about it and how to find you, whichever one you want to take it first.
On you too.
Thanks, Nah. Thanks, Reese. I just want to say that I'm really encouraged by this discussion. Reese, you don't need me to tell you got wonderful supporters in your life, your family, your mother especially, telling you how much of a great job you're doing. As another creator myself, I kind of like respect it in a different way because it takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to even organize your panel and just to get everything going, time constraints, interview questions, topic flow, chemistry. There's so many unknowns that people don't know about. So I just say I'm really grateful for this. I'm really grateful for this forum. I'm really happy to see Black men having discussions like this, not being afraid and intimidated. And last but not least, I do have a podcast, yes, but quite honestly, I was very encouraged to come on to just talk about this topic. But if anyone does want to follow me, Reese has my Instagram on screen right now is @Tim_ITIYL. That's the initials for the show. I'll talk if you'll listen. And if you do want to hit me up, you can find me through there. My profile is public. I'm not hiding from anybody. So even if you don't want to be my friend, you can still watch my videos. But other than that, I just say thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. And thanks to Reese. Thanks to Nah.
Yeah, so I'm not particularly on any project right now, but still as Coach Nirie on Instagram, Nirie Charles on Facebook. Just with the stuff we're talking about, like if you just need somebody to go ahead and rap to get some stuff off your chest. I mean, as he said, I'm a mentor for young men, but I also want to be a brother to my brothers out here. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need one. We all need at least one, man. So outside of that, like I said, it's just knick-knack necessities. My wife's craft business. Like I said, I showed y'all the mask. We got this little cup she made. See if I get in the camera right. You know what I'm saying? That she designed.
Here we go. Oh, that's cool.
You know what I mean? So she's doing a couple of things, so I'm very proud of her for that, and y'all gonna see me pushing that a lot more often. Pretty much everything she make, you're gonna see me find a way to use it, including this medallion that she made me. So outside of that, just thanks, Reese, for having me back on, bro. I appreciate you. Another thing that men don't always want to hear said in front of them, I'm proud of you, bro. Like, you are awesome. You dope. Having the heart to put this stuff out there, be vulnerable, allow other men to be vulnerable, bro. This is so necessary beyond people realize what it is. Like, I don't even think I realized how necessary this was until we got through the first episode. So keep it going, no matter who hating, no matter who don't want to get on board. You're always gonna find somebody who will. I'm just proud of you, bro. I don't think I could say it any better.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm trying to. Every telling myself I'm not gonna get emotional, man, but I'm trying to also like go through my own toxic traits that I'm on here talking about. I'm doing. But I just think that the biggest thing is just continuing to do better, man. Like no good. Everything starts somewhere, right? You know what I'm saying? The journey of 1,000 miles starts one step. So never think that, to anybody watching, never think that anything you're doing is too small. Never think that anything that you're doing is not enough, man. Helping out one person is just as good, as helping out 1,000,000 people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming live, whether I got 3 people watching me or 33 people watching me or 333 people watching me, man, because I just think that, this is my calling. This is something that I think that we need to do. And I mean, I don't feel judged. Like, I don't care if y'all judge me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you judge me all you want. I'm still going to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, screw with this thing. With that being said, man, thank you guys, man. I have next week. Next week, I do have my episode for next week is actually going to be because it's right before Valentine's Day. So I'm going to talk about recognize that kind of the feedback of this. I recognize that a lot of men haven't been loved properly, especially in a romantic aspect. So I had some wonderful women who are going to come on with me and talk about what loving a man actually looks like, right? How to love a man. So my beautiful sister-in-law, who messes with me all the time, has agreed to come on. So we'll have the great Natasha Rush coming on talking about how to love a man. I've personally observed how she loves my brother, so I'm excited to have her on. And then I have another woman, Kia Emerson, who'll be joining me. We're gonna talk about what it really looks like, how to loving him 101. That's the next one, loving him 101, because I think that's
Sound good.
We talked about it now, how men are often judged on their ability to provide, right? And I think there was so much more than that, and relationships look so much more than that. And I've lost girlfriends in the past because they felt like I couldn't provide financially, and I'm like, I'm so much more than a dollar sign. So let's talk about what that looks like. And right before Valentine's Day too, right?
There you go. That's smart,
Perfect
brother.
timing.
That's smart,
Perfect
yeah, it's more than just money, you know.
I ain't getting Valentine's Day gift this year, but somebody y'all might. Now you married and you said you got a girlfriend. So we're gonna talk about.
She gonna want to stop. I'm stopped.
And yeah, and just to kind of bring things full circle, guys. Thank y'all again. Follow me on Instagram, guys. At My Brother Show. Simple. I post the episodes. I post random inspirational messages to the mail. Remember the 1 man a week challenge? We just said 1 man a week challenge.
But so you gotta find some way to word that.
Don't make it
one man a week.
Don't make it a hashtag, Reese. Don't make it a hashtag, man.
No, 1 man a week gonna get you cooked.
Y'all know what it is. 1 man a week check-in challenge or something along them lines. We'll figure out a nice way to phrase it. And for any of you guys listening, if we're Nirie, if you don't remember his wife's name, just find him, Nirie Charles, our head coach Nirie. If you message him, he'll get in contact with his wife and put your order in. So I see a few comments coming in asking for shirts and mugs and things like that coming in. Just message him. He said my intern asked if she does hoodies. So she does do hoodies.
Yep.
Yeah. So all your uncreative needs, just contact Coach Nirie for them. And last but not least, I just reiterate this: if you want to support, what it is that I'm doing here, just cash at my brother. No amount is too big, no amount is too small. Anything that you guys want to do would be great. Thank you guys for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Tim, thank y'all, man. Like, thank y'all. Y'all do our dope, man. And we definitely got to do a part 2. Definitely got to do a part 2 of this show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could have went on for easily another hour, man. Easily.
Hey, Black Ball Brothers.
Yes, sir,
this ain't the last you heard of us. This ain't the last.
We'll be back.
Right.
This ain't the last you heard. Ain't the last you seen. We be back, head shining like oil sheen, brother.
Right. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. I love y'all, man. We're signing out offline now.